In this video, we're going to find the vertex of a parabola using the formula. As examples, I'm going to use problems 22 and 24 from your midterm review. Hopefully, this is on your note card if you are watching this before the midterm. Your first step is going to be to identify the a, b, and c values of your quadratic equation. I have a separate video for that. If you're not quite solid on it, please go back and watch it. Remember, if you're asked for the vertex, then your answer should be given in the form of a point, x, y. So you'll do that in two steps. You will use the axis of symmetry equation to find the x value of the vertex, and that is right here. Sorry, you might hear my cat. I don't know why she's mad. Then you're going to take that x value and put it back into the original equation to find the y value of your vertex. This is problem number 22 on your midterm review. And before we do anything, you're going to read the question. And what this question asks is for you to find the y-intercept, the axis of symmetry, and then the vertex, and then to use those values to graph the function. So by answering these three questions, it will give you 2 points on the graph, the y-intercept and the vertex. When you graph this, you really should find the x-intercepts as well, or at least 2 other points. You can use the table function on your calculator to do that. Before I actually start this problem, I want to remind you all that f of x in this context is going to mean the same thing as y. So when you get to the step where it asks you to solve for y, what you're solving for is f of x. A quick reminder of the template for a quadratic equation: a is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant. Hopefully you all know by now that if you don't see an obvious coefficient for x squared, it's 1. So in this case, our a value is 1. Our b value is going to be the coefficient of x, which is -6. And our c value is going to be our constant, which is 5. For problem 22, they do ask you for the y-intercept. We've gone over this several times, but hopefully you remember that your c value is your y-intercept. And when we give the answer for the y-intercept, we give that as a point as well. And that at your y-intercept, x equals 0, so your y-intercept will be given as 0, c, which in this case is 0, 5. Now for the next step, we need to find the axis of symmetry. Your axis of symmetry will also be the x value for your vertex. We're going to use the axis of symmetry equation, which should be on your note card. That equation is x equals -b over 2a. Generally, you don't see the 2a in this equation in parentheses, but I like to put it there to remind you that when you put this in your calculator, you need to put 2a in parentheses. We've gone over this in class, so I won't explain it again in this video. But for this equation, our b value is -6. So our -6 is just going to be a +6. Our a value is 1, so it's just going to be 2 times 1. When we simplify that, it will give us 3. So this is the x value of our vertex. For the final step in this problem, I'm going to solve for y. I'm just going to replace this f of x with a y in the equation. Y equals, and my y value comes out as -4. These are the x and y values for my vertex. So my vertex is 3, -4. This is problem number 24 on your midterm review. And as always, I'm going to start by identifying the a, b, and c values. I just have a negative in front of this x squared, but we've gone through several examples of this, so hopefully you remember that this is -1. Our b value is 6, and our c value is -4. And hopefully you immediately recognize that because a is a negative value, this parabola opens downward, and the y-intercept is 0, c. So in this case, it's 0, -4. Now I'm going to use the equation to find the vertex. X equals -b over 2a. Put that in parentheses so that you remember to put it in parentheses when you put it in your calculator, even though that equation is best solved by hand. Our b value is 6, and our a value is -1. So that gives us 3, same as the last problem. Now I'm going to put that back in our equation to find the y value, and you should get a 5. This is the x value for our vertex, This is the y value for our vertex. And so our vertex is 3, 5.